talk to you about welding and metalworks. So, I want to share a small story that happened to me today. I was actually just finished getting my truck fixed and I was actually making sure everything was good. And you know how sometimes, for those from the South, we like to get on those long stretch roads, and kind of hit it just a little bit to kind of make sure, our stuff is right. It's changing gears and stuff like that. So I was on one of these stretches. I was actually on Midwest Boulevard. I don't know, I guess the north side of it. And I was turning back around, coming, just, checking my car out, checking my truck out. And I noticed on the right hand side, it was a metalwork place. I seen a lot of fence posts, welding type of things. And I was like, man, that's a metalwork. I never seen it because I never been down that way before. So I was like, man, I never noticed this. So instantly I pulled over and stopped. I said, let me go in here and get a card and see if I can meet the owner and pass out a card, try to do some networking. So you know how I like to say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So I had some cars and stuff in the truck, and I pulled over. I pulled inside of their location, and I asked one of the gentlemen, can I speak to the owner or speak who I can talk to about some welding and installation? And just so happened, this is a black owner, which is one of the, I say, the second black owner I have in the town, actually, that did metal works and welding and installation. So it was neat to meet him. So we sat down and had a great conversation, actually. And it was refreshing to meet someone who was actually in your age bracket, who been having their hands, inside of the welding and installation field, know the way the system worked, and found their niche. You know what I mean? So it was cool to talk to them. And just so happened, they was needing a good installer. It was crazy because something in my stomach just said, hey man, stop through here and talk to these, talk to this place. So after I talked to him, he was letting me know that, they had been having issues with finding good people to help out because they get so many jobs they can get behind if they ain't got real good, install help. So I gave him some numbers and we talked and say, hey man, I'm willing to network with you, you know what I mean? And just so happened, he was into the container conversion. So he been having some ideas on some grow houses. And he was like, man, we're about to get ready to invest in this and this, me and my brother, you know what I mean? So I showed him my container conversion, what I'm doing now, and I'm about to post up. And he was like, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? It like everything kind of lined up. But it was funny how this whole time I've been down there, I'd never seen this spot. And I think these brothers said they've been in business for a while now, 10 to 15 years, I believe. And so, he's been around, in the city getting his hands dirty. So he figured out what his niche is, and his niche is actually in commercial, or not commercial, but residential complexes doing gates, and commercial too, doing gates and railings and custom stuff like that. It really pays a lot. And it's crazy because that's why I want to come in with the metalworks, because the metalworks goes for security gates, windows, railings, handrails, and staircases and steps and stairs, So that is a big part of welding, because literally a lot of big companies call that the miscellaneous steel, so to speak. But a lot of that miscellaneous steel adds character to a construction, you know what I mean? To a to an apartment complex, to some condos, to a nice office, whatever, you know what I mean? So realizing that, being a welder and a fabricator, there's so many opportunities that you can be able to address, when you're dealing with metalworks. And just so happened, like I say, this guy right here, that's what they specialize in. And like I told him, I fabricate and install. I said my niche and my power is in the field, because you can get shop people a dime a dozen. And he was like, yeah, I agree. You can get somebody to get some gates done, have it on a jig, make it a no-brainer for them. But when it comes to installing, that's where the help is. That's where you really need someone that actually knows how to think outside of the box. You don't need no one actually calling you every time they get in the bind. They can't think they self out of bag, and that's what you hired them for, while you trying to go do another job too. You see what I'm saying? So he instantly got it. So I really believe it was a good connection. Like I say, these brothers was I don't know if it's Owl Metalworks, or it's All Metalworks, but the brother name is David Wilson. And cool brother, man. We got a chance to chop it up. So I really believe we're gonna be doing some networking in the city as far as some installing, fabrication, whatever, however it goes. It was cool to meet him, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was very refreshing, because even though I'm headed on my direction out of the city, you know what I mean, that I got a chance to meet this brother before I leave. So hopefully we get a chance to network and do some things. But the brother was a cool brother, man. So, you know, if y'all in the area or people in the area want to network with them, it's called Owl Metalworks. And like I say, they do staircases, fencing, custom gates, security windows, railings, and that's a big thing, because metalworks ties to that independence a lot, because a lot of people want you to do certain things, but I'm gonna tell you where the money at. The money is in the specialty things. You don't want to get nothing that a person can get a dime a dozen, or they can easily say, well, so and so can give me this price. No, we don't do this. Like when you do anything handmade and you customize the gate, or you do some railings to a client spec, it makes you a little bit more valuable, and you're just trying to get paid for your time and for your material and for the work you put in. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when you have a specialty item, when you're doing metalworks, it's a lot better when you have your own specialty gate, or your own specialty security door, or your own specialty window or railing or staircase. You know what I mean? Those type of things can really make you some money, because they do the spiral staircases too. So those type of things can really make you some money. So a lot of times we just have to think outside the box, keep it simple, think of ways how we can, I would say, maximize our potential. You know what I mean? Because there's so much we can do in the field, especially when it comes to welding and metalworks. Like I do a lot of metalworks, as you know, and a lot of fabrication, but I have noticed here though that is a big thing, because they got a growing market of housing in the area. You know, a lot of people have moved to the area due to the marijuana laws here, and a lot of people move to a lot of the more flexible laws that are in the state, because they do have some cool laws that makes it cool due to the laws. You know what I mean? So it all depends on what you want to do, but a lot of people are moving here, so you got more complexes, more condos, more homes, and a lot of these are high end too. You know what I mean? They are not just regular, home builders. So when you look into the apartments and the complexes and stuff like that, and repairing handrails, repairing steps, you can actually pull up like I did. You can see something, man. You can stop by some of these apartment complexes and just pass your number out. See, they have some steps and say, hey, I can take care of that for you. I do this. And they might have someone that's big that do it, and they need someone to come under and take care of those small things. So that's an independent money source of income. So I just wanted to share that. Like I say, it was cool meeting David, man. David was a cool guy. It was refreshing to actually meet a black brother that was actually networking in the city, know how to get around. And like I say, it was unfortunate that I didn't meet him when I first came here, because we would have been networking, you know what I mean? But then again, everything happened for a reason. So I'm thankful with the way things happen, but hopefully we get a chance to network on my way, out the city. But I just wanted to talk to y'all for a moment about welding and metalworks, because there's a lot of money in that. So I just wanted you to think about that, because I think it's important now to kind of diversify your hustle, diversify how you network, and just don't think in a box. Just don't think you got to do things one way. It can be the simplest thing of fabrication of a household, or commercial buildings, things like that can get you a lot of money, that can pay you good, that you can actually stay busy and stay in rotation. So just don't think small when it comes to that, man. I think we have to really think big, really think outside the box, and really utilize our time when it comes to our skills of doing welding. So I just wanted to step through and say that real quick, man, because I think that it's important. Yes, yes. Appreciate it, man. Salute. Yeah, man. I just want to make sure that we keep our options open, that we keep our options open, man. And appreciate you from checking in. I really think that's important, that we utilize everything. And Metalworks is big. Like they pay a lot. Apartments, different people do a lot of. You got to think. You got a lot of different new home engineers coming in, and they want to add cool metal things to the building that a lot of big companies might not want to mess with, but you can do it. You see what I'm saying? And you can like, man, I can turn this into a reality for you. I can install this. I can build this. So, and a lot of times, think about this. A lot of times, your metalworks isn't heavy material. You know, when you're dealing with that, a lot of times the thickest, unless you're dealing with a staircase, the thickest, and that's like the stringers. The thickest you're dealing with is 3/16. You know, and a lot of times, you know, it's gauges 14, 16. You know, so I think that it's important just to diversify hustle. If you're a welder, just don't be a welder. You know what I mean? Be a hustler. You know what I mean? Be a fabricator, most definitely. Learn how to fabricate if you don't know how to fabricate. I think fabrication is something that can actually set you into your independence. Welding is one thing. Welding, you can be dependent on the job. You know, just a welder alone. You got a lot of times, if you're just a welder, sometimes you got to depend on another system. You see what I'm saying? Unless you're doing repair, you can still hustle. But if you can fabricate, oh man, that's where the products over talent come in at, because now you can build things, you can sell things. Even while you're doing physical work, installing, you got products on the shelf. You got things that people can't buy off the shelf. They got to get it from your shelf. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's important. So I just want y'all to think about that. Like I say, man, it was refreshing to meet this brother David today. I thought it was cool because it's been a while since I actually sat down and had a dialogue with a brother on some realness, and it was just a cool situation. So you never know who you meet. I think if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. So stay ready. Get you some cards. Stay ready, man. Be ready to network and have your game face on. You know what I mean? Be willing to be transparent with who you are, because character always speak. Actions always speak louder than words. So if you give that good energy, people can be able to sense who you are, and it's not so quick to judge who you are. You know what I mean? Because they can say, "Oh man, this I can see your spirit." You see what I'm saying? So I think it's important for us to just network and to use our welding and metalworks, because metalworks is actually a good way, a good source of income. Hold on.